Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Here we are again, ready to record another Frontity talk, where, as you know, we are trying to use this space to explain some things that are being asked in the community forum. So we are creating some demos and explaining these demos in video format, so it's more, it can be understood better, these things. So we are JuanMa and Michael. We are part of the DevRel team in Frontity. Hello, Michael.
Hi, JuanMa. How are you?
Fine, fine. So yes, today we are going to explain a demo we have created to answer some questions that we have had in the community forum regarding how to create a widget in the homepage to show posts per category, like how can you manage the information we have in the Frontity to organize that information and group different posts per category. And there are some interesting things that needs to be understood in order to do this. So yeah, let's go to the code. I'm going to share my screen.
Sure. Yeah, this is an interesting problem actually, and
Yeah,
it takes us deep into the Frontity object as well. So you need to understand the structure of the Frontity object to solve this problem.
yes, and you also need to understand like the whole idea of the Frontity project in a way that is an isomorphic React application. Like there is some code that will be executed in the server, and then there will be some code that will be executed in the client side. And once you get that, it's easy to implement the solution. But if you don't understand that, it can get complicated.
Yeah.
So first of all, let me show you the GitHub. I'd like to show very quickly some of the questions that we had in the community forum. I mean, there has been some questions. How to edit masking to achieve categorized widgets in homepage, how to fetch and display parent categories in posts, how to fetch posts by category. So as you can see, there has been some questions in the community forum.
It's an issue that comes up quite a bit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So to answer this, we have created this demo. Let's run the demo. So in localhost 3000, we have this demo project. So what we are doing here is that we are showing like some widgets per category. So every block will show all the posts that are available, or not all the posts, but as a maximum of 5 posts that are available per different categories. And which categories are we showing? Well, for that, there is a config here that we can use to define which categories I want to show in the homepage. So this is like the implementation we are going to explain. What is the problem here? Well, when we go to the homepage, we have in Frontity state source, we will have this information. By default, Frontity will get all the posts that are available in the homepage. By default, in this case, as we are using this WordPress installation as a source of data, when we go to the home page in a Frontity project, by default, we will get the posts that are in the home page of our WordPress installation. In this case, we will get this one, this one, this one, until this one.
Kind
But
of
not,
typical stuff that you see in the demo site when you first install Frontity is
yes,
what you'll get in the state.
yes.
Yeah.
But we are getting not only that, but also all the embedded information related to this post. So we are also getting like the categories that are assigned to this post, the authors assigned to this post, the tags assigned to this post, and all the related info.
Yeah.
So because of this, we will have here available in data a lot of links and some categories and some posts that in this case are the ones that are in the homepage. So all the information that we have here is the one that has been retrieved because of the posts that are in the homepage. So we are getting the list of the posts and all the related information. In WordPress, you have an option that is the embedded mode. So you get the information of this post and also the related information needed for those posts. The information of the authors, the categories, the tags, and so on. So we have that here. But what happens is that what do we want? We want a widget that shows all the posts that are assigned to a specific category, or at least a maximum of 5 posts that are assigned to that category. Here, without doing anything else, we can get some information, but this information is not all the available posts for the travel. For example, in this case, we see 5 posts for the photography category and 3 posts for the cities category. If I do this, that I'm going to explain in a minute, what is it? We can see that now we have here 5 posts for the category city and 5 posts for the category photography. What has happened? What happened is that we have taken control of the request to the categories, and we are not relying on the default behavior of going to the home page. I mean, when we go to the home page, we get information of some categories related to the posts that are in the home page. But here, what we have done is actually fetching the categories we want.
Because Frontity will only fetch what it needs
Exactly.
at that point for that URL. So for the home page, which was your landing page, it only fetches the data for the 10 posts. So what we're doing here is forcing it to fetch all the posts in each of the categories, so we have them in the state ready to before we render our home page.
Exactly. And how do we do that? Well, and this comes the implementation. So first of all, we want this information to be fetched every time we load our project, no matter the URL we start. So to do that, we can use some hooks or some methods that are available. If we go to the documentation and we can look for this. Yes. There are some actions that are triggered by Frontity. I mean, there are some methods that will be executed at different times when Frontity renders the information that we can use as in the way of the WordPress hooks. In the specific moments of the rendering, we can execute some things. So to do that, we can use the beforeSSR method on the actions property of the theme. So whenever Frontity is rendering the HTML of the project on the server side, before returning the HTML generated, it will execute this piece of code. So when Frontity renders the HTML, this piece of code will have been executed. So we will have, in this case, we will have all the information that we have requested here. So we have the beforeSSR, and by defining this, we can execute this method before rendering that information. So what we are doing here, because we want to have this information available every time we load the home page or every time we go to some other page, what we are doing is fetching the links related to different categories. So here we have some posts and some of them are assigned to specific categories. So if we rely on the info of the homepage, that information will vary, will be different every time. So we want to be consistent, and to do that, what we are going to do is we want to fetch the archive of the nature category. We want to fetch the archive page of the travel category, or whatever categories we want to display in the homepage. Which
we've
ones?
defined in config, yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, carry on.
We are defining those categories here. So by taking this object, we have this code here. We define an async function. Why it's important is async, because in this way we assure that the whole Frontity engine will wait until these fetches have finished. So Frontity will start rendering the HTML only when these requests have finished, and the information is already available in the Frontity state.
Yeah. So the posts for all the posts for the categories defined in config.js are already in the state before the home page is rendered.
Exactly. And will be rendered by SSR. That means that in terms of SEO and all of that, the information will be available there, and it will be part of the HTML. What is this? At the beginning. Yes, we have all that information as part of the HTML because of the SSR. So we have a set of keys. This is the index of the category, and this is the slack of the category. So with object values, we are getting the names of the categories, and for each name, we are executing this fetch that returns a promise. So we are doing this in a very condensed way, but what we are doing here is for every category name, we are returning a promise that is the result of executing this fetch. This array of promises, that is what we get here, we are managing this array of promises with this promise all. So this promise all will return another promise that will only be fulfilled when all these promises have been fulfilled. So we...
and if I understand this correctly, by doing promise.all, these will all run in parallel rather than in sequence. So that should be faster. It doesn't wait for one fetch to finish before it starts the other one. I think they run in parallel. They all get triggered.
I'm not sure about that, but yeah, that may be the case. Yes. Well, the thing is that this piece of code, I mean, these promises, we are managing them in group. So only when all these promises are fulfilled, we will go to the next line. So this
Yeah.
code, Frontity will wait to this code to finish, and this will finish when all these promises have been fulfilled, all the requests have been done, and we have received an answer. So that means that at this point, we have all the info required in the state.
Yeah.
And we can go to the next. So we are here. Here we have all the information, and now the server can render properly the React and send the HTML. So that's why we are able to use this information and create the proper widget. Okay, so whenever we have we render the React components, we have that information already in the state. Now, how do we process this information so we can create this? So for that, we have created here some helper functions that we can use then in all React components. The project is very simple. We have here an index. The starting point is the theme component, that is this one. And this component is using a home component. This home component is this one. And this is where we are really processing the data to group posts per category. How are we doing that? Well, we are doing that. First of all, we are getting the data. Well, we have available the source. So here we have Frontity state source. Whenever we render this React component, and we are doing this, if we load the home page directly, we will be doing this from the server side. We have this information available. So what we are doing is we are passing this whole object to the get post group by category method that is defined here. That is defined in the helpers index. We receive the source, and what we are doing here is, first of all, we are getting the keys of those categories we want to show as widgets. So here we get the IDs 3, 4, and H in this case. And for these IDs, what we are doing is generating this structure, and a structure of an array of objects, and if object will have the list of posts per category and the details of the category. In this case, we are only using the name, but we have all the information of the category available. We could show more information about the category. So very quickly, how we are doing that, we are using the reduce method. So per every category ID, we are generating an object. First of all, we are generating a category property with all the information of the category that is got in this way. In source category, we have the information of all the categories. And as we have previously done this, we will have the information of the categories that we have here. We assure that because we have previously done the beforeSSR. So now we can directly add the information of that specific category in the category property, and then we can get all the posts that belong to that category. And to do that, we use the get post from category. And here we are setting the maximum. This maximum could be defined maximum post equal 5. So we could use a constant. So then instead of, we could say 4, or we could say
Yeah.
3. And we can configure this in the way we want.
Mm-hmm.
So this method, what it's doing is we pass the source, and here we destructure the post property, that is this one. And here this method, for every set of posts, for every list of posts we have here, we are filtering those with a specific category ID. So every post has a property categories with several categories, because one post can belong to different categories. So we are filtering those ones which include the category ID we want.
Mm.
So we are doing this like as many times as category IDs we have. In this case, we are doing this 3 times. So for the category ID 3, we are passing this category ID 3, we are passing the source, we are filtering the whole list of posts, and we are filtering those ones that include the specific category ID, and we get the list of posts. So we store that information in post and category, and with that we build the array of objects that we will return in the reduce. This is what we are returning in the reduce. Per every category ID, we will get an object containing the list of posts belonging to that category and the details of that category.
So that function is creating that array, which currently has 3 objects in it.
Yes, this function is the one in charge of generating this structure of data. So we are kind of using JavaScript to organize the information of Frontity that we already have available in the state. So then it's easier to consume this information.
Yeah. So we're actually extracting it from the state, putting it into another array, which is the array we're going to work with. So we're not going to be working directly with the content in the state. We're fetching it out of the state, putting it into our own array, and that's what that's the data we're going to work with.
Yes. So this is post per category. We are using this method that we directly pass the source to kind of reorganize the information in a way it's easier for us to consume.
Yeah.
In a way it's easier for us to use it in a React component. So knowing that that information is using that structure, we can map that information, and we will iterate for every element in this array. And for every element, we will have a list of posts and a specific category. So now category contains the details of the category, and posts contain the list of posts, the array of posts. So here we use that information to display the info. So here category name is this category name, and to show the list of posts, we are using post.map for every post, and we show the article. And to show the HTML, we make use of the HTML to React. With the HTML prop, we pass the HTML.
Mm-hmm.
And well, this part is easy. The tricky part is organize the information in a way that it can be consumed easily.
Exactly. So we're just getting it into a version so that the work that the component is doing is actually easy to do.
Yes, yes. The tricky part is, first of all, implementing the code so the proper information is available in the Frontity state. That is this part. So here we assure that from the server side, before any page is rendered, we have this information available in the Frontity state. That means we have all the categories we want, the information, the post assigned to the category we want, it's available in the Frontity state whenever we start rendering React components. And then the second step is, once we have that information in the state, we need to find a way to properly organize that information so then we can use it in the React. And that's where this these methods takes into action. These methods are responsible of that. But once we have that, everything is very easy to configure, because now we can define as many categories we want,
and that'll render. Yeah.
And it will render with the proper information will be retrieved and will be shown in the home page in a consistent way.
Yeah.
Because no matter what information it's in the home page, that we are always getting the post from the category.
Yeah.
We can choose only one, and we can choose this one and this one, and we can change the config to show this helper to show 5.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's pretty configurable.
Okay, so to summarize then, it's we're doing a kind of a 3-step process. One, the first step, we are using beforeSSR, forcing Frontity to fetch the data that we're going to need in the home page where it wouldn't normally be there. The second step then is to, knowing that that data then is in the state, the second step then is to extract that into our own data structure that we can then go on to work with. And then the third step is the component actually works with that data in the format that we specified to render the home page.
Yes. I mean, these helpers, it's like a good practice of development, because it's not really a responsibility of the React component to do all this work. So we are extracting that in a different file, so then everything is easier to understand. I mean, here we are just using a method that is getting us the data we need for the React component. And the React component is in charge of what it has to do, that is displaying that information in the proper way. Yeah. I mean, we could have defined this here in the React component, but it's a good practice to separate concerns. So in this way, we have like our config file, we have our helpers file, and then we have our React components. So everything it's a bit more organized.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to put you on the spot, but would there be a way to order the categories? What is the order that the categories are appearing? So if you select, say, 3 categories from from config.js.
Let's select all of them.
Yeah, sure.
So you want the categories ordered by alphabetically, for example.
Yeah, let's suppose we want that, yeah.
Well, we can do that. We can do that here. Well, first, in this way, I will. I mean, we can complicate the code, but I would directly sort the categories here.
Yeah. Okay. So it's being rendered on the homepage in the order that they appear here at the moment, is it? Let's see. So photography. Okay.
It's rendered in this order.
In the reverse order. Okay. So lifestyle, news, travel. So it's rendered on the homepage in the reverse order that you specify there.
Yes, it's an array, so it will start with this category. Okay, if we clean the code, and it's rendered in this internal server error. It's rendered in the order that is specified here in the reduce. And here we are actually, I mean, we could order by using the IDs easily, because here we have an array of IDs and we could order that.
Yeah.
What we could do is, before doing this, we could order this categories home
Alphabetically, yeah.
alphabetically. So
okay,
so,
but it's possible to do that. I didn't, like I said, I don't want to put you on the spot, you know, doing live coding, but
yeah, well, it's
okay,
not.
I can see in principle how you do it. Yes,
It could be done here, but my advice is that it doesn't really worth doing that code, because this config is not going to be too much longer than this. I mean, there is no sense of having like 50 widgets here. So I wouldn't implement the code for that. I just directly manually will do this.
Yeah, given that you need to know what categories you want to use,
yes,
just use that to order them.
Yes. We could do this and this.
Yeah. So now we should have on the home page, we should have lifestyle, travel, photography, news. Okay, travel, photography, news, nature, right?
Yes. Okay. Because there is a comma loss here. And let me.
There we go. Right. Can't remember what we were expecting again now. What was
we are expecting now that the
travel
categories,
photography first. Travel photography news, right?
It should follow this order right now.
Yeah, but reverse. Is what it seemed to be doing before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure earlier it was doing a reverse order.
Cities, culture, lifestyle. So yeah, whenever we do npx Frontity dep, we are launching a local server, and Frontity will generate a build, local build, so we can show this. And this is the home page we are using. Lifestyle, news, travel, nature, culture, cities, photography.
Okay, it's lifestyle, news, travel. What are we expecting? Go to the code again of config.js.
Yeah, no, it's not correct.
It's not the right order.
Cities, culture, lifestyle. Okay, let's.
Yes, yeah, I guess.
Okay, if we reduce, if we go to, MDN reduce, the method, the function passed to the reduce method will receive an accumulator, current value, current index, and the source array. So if we do this, we can show the result of this. I mean, what, or maybe we can simplify this, and let's do this. Const IDs categories is equal this, and we are going to show in the console this,
Yeah, so we see what we're working with.
and then we are doing this. So we can see what we are doing. And in the config, in the index, I'm going to, yes, in here in the home, I'm going to comment this console
Yeah.
log.
So we don't get confused.
So if we load this here, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
So it's in numerical order of the IDs. So whatever
Yes.
order it is in the config.js, it orders it by the ID. Okay, so that's
So object keys, maybe object keys is in object keys. It's in you know what? Knowing that that we are interested in sorting this, maybe we can prepare the config to be in this way and change the code. Because in this way,
then it'll order them alphabetically.
yes. This is 3.
Then we need to change the code to use values rather than keys.
Yes, and now we need to adapt our code to use this structure. First of all, we need to go to here and categories widgets home config. Right now, we were using object values, but we can use now keys.
Keys, yeah.
Because keys now are the slack of the properties, and this should work because per every slack we have a category and we will do the fetch.
Yeah,
So
but where we were using keys in the home.js, oh no, sorry, the index.js, we now need to use values. Yeah.
And now we can use values.
Yes, because we need the IDs of the categories here, don't we?
But yeah, in this way, it's easier to assure I think it's easier to assure the order of the categories.
So now I've got travel photography. Okay, it's we have ordered it, but it's still in reverse order. It starts from the bottom and goes to the top of the config.js file. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Well, this is still loading. Let's.
Oh, you know why? Because what? Oh, hold on. It's
Okay, we are going to see the IDs, so we can see if they follow a specific order.
I think it will do the reverse order, because if you look at your line 15 there, you're putting, it goes through them in order, but puts each one on the front of the array.
Ah, you're right.
So the most recent, the last one that it processes will be the first one in the returned array.
Oh, you're right. Yes, travel.
So we'll always get reverse order.
Okay, so what we can do for that is
just switch those round in the return.
How can we reverse the order of an array?
Well, can we not just change that line so that we? Oh no, you're using that as rest. Oh no. What happens if you put?
Yes, because we need to keep the previous information. We need to keep the previous information here. Okay.
Yeah, but can you not just put that at the front? What happens? And put that after the. What will that do? Yes.
Yes, you're right.
So we don't need to reorder the array.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and we are having the 4659. That is the 4659. That is the
Exactly.
order
Yeah.
we have here. Yoo-hoo!
Yeah. Okay, so we've gone a little bit further than we planned for this
Yeah.
talk.
So this is paid programming live, absolutely.
Yeah.
Eh?
Awesome.
We risk it things here.
Yeah. Living on the edge here. Yeah.
Living on the edge. Yeah. We are the Indiana Jones of the Frontity code.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's summarize. Do you want to summarize what we have done?
Sure. Yeah. Basically, I'll just repeat what we summarized earlier. First of all, the Frontity will fetch what it thinks it needs for the home page. So normally it will just fetch the 10 most recent posts.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing is we're using beforeSSR to run a server-side function to populate the state with all the categories or the posts from all the categories that we've selected, which we define in config.js. So that is step one. That way we know we've got the data we need for our home page in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Then step two is rather than work with the data directly in the state, because it's not really in the structure that is easy for us to work with, we extract that into our own array of objects using the that helpers index.js get post group by array. That gives us an array of objects. And as we just seen with our slightly risky experiment there, we can actually get it in the order we want it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And once we've got that array of objects, then in our home.js, it's simply a case of rendering them inside our components.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're using the variable or the constant post per category there to basically run step two, get post group by category. And if we run that console.log, then you'll see that is the result of step two. That's our own data structure extracted from the Frontity object. And then in home.js, we just use that to render for the in our component to render the data, basically the category title and then the list of posts.
Yes.
Yeah, so you break it down into 3 steps, basically, is what's going on here.
Yeah, very well explained.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will add some of these details in the README MD of the demo. The demo is available in here in front of the examples. We
We'll
will
put
add
that link in the description.
description of the video.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all. We will continue creating more demos and prepare more Frontity talks.
Indeed.
To help the community create awesome Frontity projects.
Yeah. Great job, JuanMa. It's a really nice solution to the problem.
Yes.
And good job on explaining it as well.
Thank you. So yeah, and you guys feel free to ask for a specific Frontity talk if you want something to be explained in detail with a proper demo and so on. In the meantime, we will select from the community forum those questions we see that are recurrent. So we will prepare proper demos with a proper explanation.
And just on what JuanMa just said, if you do want to ask for a specific topic, use hashtag AskFrontity on Twitter.
Yes.
And we'll pick up on that then.
Yes, that's the one. Okay,
Awesome.
so yeah, I think that we can say goodbye
Indeed.
and we can start preparing the next one.
Indeed.
Okay,
Right. Okay. Thanks for that, JuanMa. And
thank you,
yeah, see
Michael.
you next time and see everyone
Yes,
else next time.
bye guys.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.